Hey guys, Dave here. So yesterday I told you I'd gotten in 3 other items, and those 3 items had all come in the same box. I was gonna do a kind of epic unboxing, but I just couldn't wait. They were knives that I was really anxious to get, and you guys know I made a video recently about Dalibor Bergam and his, all the knives that he makes, including, the Namor, which is a collaboration with Alphahunter Tactical. But I had other knives on order from him, and then one knife that I picked up, and I think I mentioned it in the video. I was picking up another Sirius, and so the knives that I had on order, some of the knives I had on order with him have come in, and I definitely wanted to take a chance and just talk about them separately. So first and foremost, and I did give the boys a little time off, Hank and Earl, because I wanted the space. So I did go ahead and get this Sirius. I actually picked it up from a friend of Dalibor's who, he just, needed some cash, and I was happy to snag it. And I also told him that, if times change or whatever, and he wants to get it back or whatever, that he would have first dibs to get it back. So, but anyways, another Sirius, but the way this originally was, it was orange peeled and bronze flame anodized. And so it was one of those deals where I asked if he could take it to Dalibor and we just, kind of clean it up, resharpen it, stuff like that. And it wound up being, we went with a full-fledged, refinish into the new stonewash finish, which I was very, definitely eager to check out. And I never know, when my stuff is going to be done, or I have a general idea, but I never have really any, if it's going to all be done at the same time or whatever. And when he told me my other knives were getting close, I just told him to hold off and do them all at the same time, and then that way I could check out this finish at the same time as one of the other knives. But yeah, basically an excellent, this knife has been used. It's got some marks here in the stonewash, no big deal. I don't care, I'm gonna use it. This will probably, replace my Sirius a lot of the time because I do love this finish. This finish is darker. You guys know acid stonewash is pretty dark, and you can see that the tie is almost as dark, just barely a different color than the acid stonewash. But just barely, and sculpted, of course, you can see there. And this is definitely my favorite finish. I know a lot of people like the flame anodized and sculpted, but this is definitely more me, meat and potatoes, not too flashy, just a great look, and I don't need anything too flashy. So, but yeah, I love this knife, the Sirius. This thing is awesome. So yeah, my buddy that I bought it from, thank you, bud. Really appreciate you. Yeah, just cannot be happier to get this. And Dalibor, of course, thank you for refinishing it and resharpening. Things just razor sharp again. And yeah, could not be happier to get this other Sirius. So, and it was, let me see which one here. Yeah, and this knife was made back in January. It's the other Sirius, January 5th or 15th. I don't know what that is. But yeah, another Sirius, excuse me, and just cannot be happier to get it. So next up, I know that B. Dunn had gotten in the Pollux. He was the first one to get the Pollux, and so that was one of the ones that I had on order. And so this, I guess, is like, I don't know. I know a couple people I think have gotten them now. I got this on, let's see, Thursday. And the Pollux has come in, and this thing, I know B. Dunn has done a video on it, but I'm going to kind of go over the particulars. Look at that frame lock side. The coloring on that flame anodizing is amazing. See, if the flame anodizing is darker like this, I don't mind it. It's just this, for some reason, this side just came out a lot darker than this side that's a little bit brighter. And of course that happens with flame anodizing. I do love how dark this side is. And it, once again, much darker than it appears because the the light's hitting it, but I'm telling you that it's definitely darker on this side. But Pollux is his small little workhorse Wharncliffe blade. Just absolutely love this thing. And the best part about it is, I tried to do this video yesterday, and I know some of the measurements on it, but I'm going to get the tape measure out and measure them all at the same time so you can kind of see and compare them to one another. But the best part about this is that, once again, the forward grip on his knives, even this tiny little knife, even fits, I mean, it just fits good in my hand. So if you can, I mean, that's just something about that, just all of the forward positions on his knife. You get great purchase on every one of his knives. And even in reverse grip, I have that thing in my right on top. Just unbelievable for such a small little knife. And just cannot be happy. And every bit as beefy as all of his other knives. .22 3V steel and .187 tie. Just unbelievable. Just a working, just a workhorse, just a little tank. I know this is the one that I've gotten the most comments on, the one that people are most interested in getting, because it kind of goes to, not so much, I know a lot of people, some people like the tank knife, some don't, but this size knife, it being so tough and, just beefy, and then at the same time, it's smaller and lighter weight, of course. So, yeah, Dalibor, Bergam, what's it called, Pollux. This thing is just amazing, and yeah, very happy to get it. This is just a great little EDC knife, secondary knife, whatever you want to, call it, but just spectacular. Love the look of it. Absolutely love the look of it. This is as dark as it is on the back, and then some lighter areas here and at the end. But this side is just lights out. Absolutely love the coloring on this side. So, and I do have the large Wharncliffe on order as well. So I had discussed that with him, and I know the first one was promised already to somebody, but I think he said I'm getting number 2. So yeah, Pollux, absolutely love it, and I can't wait to get the large Wharncliffe. I'm such a fan of Wharncliffe, you guys know that, it's really the knife that I'm, next to Namor, which is, still my favorite. That there was a knife that I was really looking forward to getting. The Wharncliffe is definitely probably my, going to be carried a lot, but I did go ahead, and I know Sebastian got his in the other day. I can't remember if he has done a video or not, but this is Draco. This is the one I was eagerly anticipating. This one. Absolutely love the look of this knife. Love the, just beefy blade, different type of blade shape there. Love the look of this. I talked to him the other day, obviously not a Tonto. I asked him what he was calling it, and he said he just, he just goes with the vision that he has for the blade. He doesn't, care what they're, if they fit into a category or whatever. He goes, it's just what he comes up with. And so, it really is just a drop point, when it comes down to the blade. But, this drop down on the peak, I guess some people might want to put a swedge on here for a better penetrator. It would definitely penetrate, anyways, with that, almost, wow, just nasty tip. So, but Draco, and I did go with the Stonewash and Sculpted. This is the one that I always had planned on trying out the new finish, and then I got the chance to get that Sirius, and so I got it on both of them. But just absolutely love this thing. Carried it, let's see, Thursday. I, basically had it with me as soon as I took it out of the box. And then, what's it called? Friday, I carried it all day long. Just unbelievable knife. I was so excited to get this thing, and it's, compared to the Sirius, in size, very similar. Matter of fact, when I do the measurements, you'll see they're almost identical, just barely an 1/8 inch off from the choil there, small little choil, but from the choil there, they are basically the same exact knife, except where they're off just an 1/8 of an inch longer in the blade. But I'll get the tape measure out and I'll show you guys so you can see. But just such a fan of his knives. I know I've mentioned it in, you know, the first video where I kind of discussed the 4 knives that I already had, the 2 Namors, the other Sirius, and my Regulus. But just beefy, leaner grinds. I mean, I just absolutely, he has great materials. I love the tie, you know, full tie, and then the 3V steel in every single knife he makes. I'm such a fan. When I started out, you know, kind of getting into knives and everything more serious, you know, I'm really, you know, when I first started out, I was more into my guns than I was my knives. And so when I started getting into knives so much, it's, you know, this is the kind of knife that I was after. I wanted a beefy knife that, you know, feels good in my bigger paw, and just have, you know, just be razor sharp, and you know, with great materials. And I know when I started talking to, emailing back and forth with Dalibor early on, that was one of the things I told him, that, you know, he has everything I want in a knife. And I just cannot be happier to keep adding knives to my collection. And every single one of these knives will be carried. You know, they will be carried and used. And that was one of the other things that he told me, especially, is that he wants his knives to be used, you know, and that's the first thing. Even though I bought my first, you know, knife was the Regulus that I got from Hands. You know, it was first of all that lockup, which every single one of his knives is just rock solid. I mean, they just don't, there's no movement in them whatsoever, no blade play, absolutely solid. But when you first take it out of the box, whether it was the Regulus or, you know, the Namor that I got, and then I got the Sirius and another Namor on the same day, it's just one of those things where as soon as you take them out of the box, they just look like you're meant to use them. They don't look like some, you know, whatever you want to call it, you know, safe queen or something like that, where you're just not going to use them, or you're going to carry them as a gentleman's type knife. They look like you should beat them up and use them, and just absolutely love that part about them. And that's why, you know, it kind of really has ruined other knives for me, just because that's, you know, this, you know, when you find something that you really like, and, you know, you want to use them hard and put them to use, other knives just don't get carried. They just don't. You know, I'm always going to carry a small fixed blade as well, but you know, when it comes to the rest of my knives, I just, you know, these kind of just ruin it for everything else, because I absolutely do love these knives, and I can't wait to get more, and I'm going to continue to get more, and just beat the heck out of them and use them. So but I just wanted to, you know, I'm such a fan, and I really, you know, I mean, Dalibor knows, you know, we email back and forth all the time, and I got a couple more on order. I have a Sirius that I ordered, you know, later before he closed the book, and I wanted to, you know, I may change that to a Regulus, because, you know, of course the Regulus I have was not a custom order. It was one I bought on the secondary. And so even though I had a Sirius on order, now that I was able to scoop this Sirius up, I may go ahead and change that Sirius to a Regulus. And then that way I have, you know, that way I have 2 of the Regulus and the Sirius. Obviously the Regulus is the flagship. And you can really see, I'll put all the knives out here in just a minute, but you can really see the evolution of his work. And the fact that, you know, the thing that just gets me is, you know, I thought he had been doing knives for a while, and he's only been making knives for 2 years. And to me, you know, especially grails for me, these are just grail worthy knives for me. I'm telling you guys, I would be happy if all I had was some really good fixed blades, these knives, and that I would be fine. You know, obviously I'm going to keep you know, I mean, you guys know I got a lot of knives, so I'm going to be keeping some anyways. But I mean, at the same time, I would be very happy if the only knives I had were just my 7 knives from Dalibor and you know, some fixed blades. I would be very happy with that. It would be fine. I really am just that big a fan. So anyways, I just get into some measurements here. When I did the video last time, you know, I didn't do exact measurements and everything. I assumed that they were 3.5 on the Sirius, but I got out this larger tape measure. 3.5 is measured from the end of the you know, tip to the end of the grip is basically where the 3.5 is. But it's 3 inches sharpened edge to the end of the small choil there. So that's the measurement. Yeah, it's actually, let's see here. Yeah, maybe 3 1/8 possibly to the end. So, and then total length is let's see here. Total length is 8 1/4. Now you're going to see on Draco the blade is, you know, much wider this way. Definitely a beefier blade for sure. And you'll see that it's about 2 7/8. That's the only difference. They are both exactly 8 1/4 inches long. But 2 7/8 is actually the cutting edge, but still 3 1/2 to the tip to the end of the grip. So, and all of them, of course, are you know, .22 3V steel. Even though he has those, you know, just lean grinds, .22 and then .187. And then Pollux, you'll see, is just a 2-inch blade. You know, tip to the end of the grip is probably about 2 1/2. Maybe just shy of 2 1/2. And then total length is about right at 6 inches long. Right at 6 inches long. So there you go. So for people that were wondering, 2-inch blade on Pollux. A lot of questions. I got a lot of questions on Instagram when I put up pictures. But 2-inch blade, 2 1/2 inch tip to grip, and then actually about 2 3/8, just shy of 2 1/2 inches, and then 6 inches long. So 8 1/4, 8 1/4, and then 2 7/8 on Draco, and 3-inch blade on Sirius. So that's cutting edge, of course. So that's everything, and I thought I would get out the scale and weigh them up, see what we got here. Hopefully you guys can see that just fine, zeroed out. And just 5.85. 5.85 for Pollux. And Draco, 8.2. And Sirius, I think, was 7 point something, right? 7.75. I think my other one's 7.7. So there you go. But yeah, that way everybody knows what they weigh. Just such a fan. Could not be happier to get Pollux. I can't wait to get the large Wharncliffe. Definitely anticipating that one, no doubt about it. And just so you can see, you know, what a fan. And you guys already know I have, these are just my newer ones, but I do have a whole collection of them, and I did get them out just so you could see. There's both Sirius side by side. Absolutely love this knife. For EDC, you know, obviously you can carry Pollux with no problem. Draco would be an EDC, Sirius would be an EDC, and I know Namors are not hard to, you know, are very hard to come by, but Namor would be another great EDC. And then, you know, to me, the supreme hard user is definitely going to be, you know, this, what's it called, Regulus, which is just the, you know, really the flagship of his whole entire. And just by looking at him, you can kind of see some influences on other knives. You know, the handle on Draco definitely has some, you know, Namor influence in it. All of the handles, of course, as I said before, are based on the Regulus handle. It just depends on, you know, how, you know, which way he's gone about it, and you know, the design that he came up with for the handle for that model. But yeah, the curved handle, you can definitely see, you know, if I put Draco, you know, next to Namor, you're definitely going to see that they look a lot similar handle wise and everything. Definitely a lot closer to one another. So, but still definitely a little bit more hook in the handle. Love the ergos on the handle on Draco, and definitely on Namor. Namor still just, I love that harpoon style blade. Absolutely love the look of it. Love the way it, you know, it's just a nasty little slicer. Draco, definitely loving it. Cannot wait to get the large Wharncliffe to compare, which I think is also going to be a 3.5 combination on the blade. I think that's what he was going with. And then just Pollux is the little workhorse now. And yeah, those are just all 7 of my, and I actually have the knife I had said a while back, the little tiny neck knife. You know, it's just a little, you know, finger knife I had done in a video a while back, but I found out later on that that even though I thought I got it from my buddy Reno, which is also who I got this Sirius from, he, you know, I thought that Reno had made the knife, but the knife was actually made by Dalibor, and he made 3 of them, and the one that I have is the only one that ever left his shop. And so that one is, yeah, absolutely just cannot be happier to have that one as well. A little bit of piece of history there from his shop. So I absolutely love that thing too. But yeah, my whole collection of Dalibor knives, will carry them all. Doesn't matter. You guys know, before I got the Sirius and some of the other smaller EDC size, I was carrying the Regulus, every other day, every day. It was always with me. Just as soon as I got it from Hands, I was just such a big fan of the knife as soon as I got it. And I just cannot get over his lockups. I just can't get over how solid they are. Huge fan, and I can't wait, like I said, to get more. And even when the book opens back up, I'm gonna fight to get in it again and get some more. I just that way, people wonder why you have to have 2 of one or anything like that. Well, it's because I love the knives, and if I want to beat the heck out of it and just abuse it, I'm gonna have another one. And that's, to me, what his knives are all about, is hard users, beat them up, and still just razor sharp. And love the materials, love everything about them. So that's it, guys. New ones: Draco, Sirius, this refurbished Sirius, absolutely love it. And Pollux, just the little workhorse guy out of all of them, absolutely love it. And could not be happier to get them all. Absolutely love it. I know a ton of people just love Pollux, so I can't wait to get the large Wharncliffe. That's the one, man. I'm so excited to get that one. So, and I think he said that's going to be like another month or so. And like I said, I know he had already promised the first one to somebody. And then, I can't wait to get, number 2 or whichever one. It doesn't matter. I just want to get the large Wharncliffe. I'm a massive Wharncliffe fan, as you guys know. So, and then both certificates on Draco and Pollux, June 4th, 2013, both of them. So, yep, just cannot be happier and a more proud owner. And, like I said, these knives would do right here. If all I could have were, these 7 folders, or whatever other knives I can get from them, I would be good with that. I really would. There are knives I'm anxious to get. I can't wait to get quite a few of the knives that I have on order. But these knives, they're just amazing, man. He makes a great knife, and I'm a big fan. So, and of course, special shout out to Alphahunter on both Namors. Just cannot, that's still my favorite knife. Draco, definitely, right up there with it now. And I'm sure the Wharncliffe, the large Wharncliffe, will be too. But just love them all. Doesn't matter, love them all. And I'm definitely looking forward to getting another Regulus, one custom for me. As opposed to secondary. But thank you, Hands, for that as well. So that's it. That's my all my Dalibors, not including the little neck knife. But yeah, cannot be happier. Dalibor, thanks a bunch. I really appreciate you, man. Alphahunter, thank you, bud. Especially for that second auction on the other Namor. And yep, absolutely love them. You guys enjoy your Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all fathers. I've definitely got to call my dad right now. So anyways, hope everybody has a great rest of your weekend, and I'll talk to you again soon.